Hey everyone, Kim Sparkle as always. So now as you notice that I decided to change my name into Sparkle Girl. So for now on I will going to just say Sparkle Girl rather than my original name. I hope you guys can understand. So as you can notice that I will going to review my best favorite of all times, Angelina Ballerina. So let's just say that Angelina Ballerina is just one of the best cartoons that I ever liked since as a kid. So personally, I grew up watching the original series. Um, the one on the left. Yeah, that's the original Angelina Ballerina. I, to be honest with you guys, I don't think I ever read any of Angelina Ballerina's books, to be honest. I wish I could, but if I want to read some Angelina books, I might get them sometime, like sometime when I feel to, stuff like that. But don't worry, I'm pretty sure that I will get the chance to have enough money to buy Angelina Ballerina books because well, although I'm not really into like sort of like ballerinas that much, some of you are already seen my community post about it, saying that I'm not really much a fan of ballerinas that much, but all I like about ballerinas is that, like, watching Angelina Ballerina or this one particular episode from the Tweenies called Ballet. Some of you may have seen that episode sometime before, but mostly from the UK that seen that episode since Tweenies are from the UK. So, all I'm gonna say that Angelina Ballerina is just part of my childhood. Can I just be honest? I have seen the new one, Angelina Ballerina, The Next Steps. That's what it's called. And to be honest with you guys, if you guys remember my video with the theme song, with two versions, one with the UK version and one with the US version. Well, personally, I kind of prefer the UK version since that's the one I mostly grew up watching and remember. And so the US version is okay to tell the fact, but I would say it's not like I'm not too keen on it. It's just the way how the song plays and that, something like that. But I don't want it upset you guys. But I'm sure you guys can respect my opinion, and I will respect yours as well. So I have seen that show as well. So I remember a DVD of it actually, and I remember some few episodes. And I actually kind of remember this one episode from it about Angelina's first new school, where she has her first date in a new school and that. And she was like struggling, like get to know everyone and all kind of changes going on around her, and she missed the things how they used to be, when she used to be in her old school with uh, Miss Lily, yeah, that's it, and her best friend Alice. So I would say Angelina and Alice are the bestest friends of the series in the original and the next steps. So some of you might believe me or not, but it's nearly almost reminded of, well, Caitlin Sparkle, not just me, but the cartoon version of Caitlin Sparkle and Eleanor from Alvin and the Chipmunks. If you think about it, I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. And, well, to be honest, I do kind of like Alice because she's the coolest mouse, but I do prefer Angelina since she's all like the main character. She's the main focus sort of character now. To believe me, sometimes Angelina can be a bit bossy, can be a bit selfish at times, but she doesn't mean very well because I know Angelina, even though she can be, like I said, bossy and selfish, but not in a mean way, of course. But if some of you guys remember those two mean girls called um Priscilla and Penelope. So if you might do remember them, because I believe they're the bullies in the original series and they dislike Angelina like all the time. And they keep treating her like she's nothing. But to tell the truth, I think Angelina is a star. No matter what those girls think, I think Angelina is the best. I mean, I couldn't even care less what Priscilla and Penelope thinks. They're just mean old bullies, I'm telling you. Well, there is some episodes that I do feel sorry for Priscilla, where from this episode, the old oak tree, where she actually almost broke her arm. But although it's only like a sprained wrist or something, if I remember correctly. And I just think Angelina is just a bit mean in that episode to tell you guys this, but I just think Angelina doesn't really think about like health and safety. All she ever cares about the old tree. I mean, it may be something like means to her or something like that because she's remembered this thingy that her parents put on the tree with their names and the heart on. Some of you might remember that moment from that episode. But to tell you guys this, I do actually agree with Angelina at that point when she says that the tree actually means for her because it kind of reminds her with her parents. But all I'm trying to say that because if you guys remember, Angelina and Alice were a bit mean to Priscilla, even though that Priscilla can be a bit mean to them as well. But in this episode, I think Angelina and Alice doesn't seem to show any remorse about her arm and that, sprained wrist. I mean, no matter who you hate, you should always give them respect, no matter how you hate them or whatever. And to tell the truth, I just kind of think Priscilla does has a good point about her mum had this sort of like agreement with the other adults saying that the tree should be cut down because it's not safe. And besides, it is old and it's been in that pub like how long? I don't know, but that's all I have to say. But I just think Angelina is just a bit selfish. So that's just my personal opinion in that episode. And it's okay if you don't agree or anything, but that's just my opinion, so please respect that, okay? So, and there is some episodes, like, where I do feel sorry for Angelina, but I do have this sort of, like, in-between, actually, for Angelina in the episode Baby Sister. You know, when her sister Polly was born. I have to be pretty honest. I think Angelina is starting to show more jealousy than, liking her new sister. I mean, can I just be honest? It's kind of normal, actually. All I'm saying, it can actually happen in real life. Like, it could happen to me and my sister too, actually, when I first born. Because I remember my mum said when I was first born, my sister was a bit jealous and she was like having a bit of tantrum. But I won't say anything more because it's kind of personal. But I'm pretty sure you guys know exactly what I'm trying to say here. But like I said, I can't say any more because it's personal matter. So, I just think Angelina just try to give Polly a little chance. I mean, she's only a tiny little baby mouse. I mean, I actually just think that Polly doesn't really deserve any of the jealousy that Angelina, shows her, you know, but that's just probably my opinion again. Okay, I just remembered the scene from that episode, when Polly was trying to get the trophy away from the edge of the bed, and then out of a sudden Angelina heard the little smash, and then she just threw it onto Polly, even though she's only a little baby, and then she just and Angelina thinks it's okay to blame on the baby when it actually her responsible for keeping an eye on the baby when her mom told her to. Seriously, Angelina, you can't really blame on the baby. Okay, so, and I believe there's one character who seems to have a crush on Angelina. Some of you may know who that is. Yes, of course, William. Well, some of you may not remember William from the original series, but it's okay. You can always watch the original series whenever you need to, because it's all on YouTube, including the new one as well. But William seemed to fancy Angelina, like really loves her. Like every time she her practicing her dancing, for the performance and that, William seems to have this sort of thing. Like, is she a wonderful star? Is she amazing, beautiful, sort of way like that? And but I also seem to believe that some people seem to ship Angelina with Marco from the new series, and I kind of agree with that. Actually, I think they both do kind of like each other. It depends on whatever friendship they have. So yeah, because I can't really tell pick on between either Angelina and William from the original series or Angelina and Marco from the new series, because it's kind of a bit harder for me to pick. But so I just like them both equally, to be honest. But if I had to pick, I would say Angelina or Marco. But it's okay if you guys like Angelina and William from the original series. If you prefer it, I understand. So I would say I remember this other character called Henry. Some of you guys may remember him too. And believe me or not, I believe Henry is Angelina's cousin. And if I remember correctly, I did used to find him annoying when I was a kid and that, but I would say he's still annoying, what my opinion is right now and that, but sometimes he's okay. It depends on the episode, something like that, and it kind of depends really. If you guys remember this episode, with the fair, where Henry keeps crying, getting scared, but you can't really blame him. But I don't think that's pretty annoying, really. You should be sorry for him. I do feel sorry anyway for Henry for being scared of some of the fairs, because believe me or not, I don't like the big rides either. Like the big wheel, the roller coaster. I just prefer some rides that are more suitable for me. Like the bumping cars, for exact. Yeah, I just like the bumping cars. They actually awesome and cool. Like where you keep bumping into each other and like, ah! Something like that. Well, believe me or not, it is quite a bit funny, when bumping into each other in the bumping cars when having fun. So, okay, sorry. I also kind of remember this one episode that I don't know if some of you guys might remember this, even you, Sophie, but I remember this episode called The Legend of the Big Paw. I just remember that episode so well. I even got scared of that episode as a kid, actually, to be honest. It just, well, let's just say that's just part of my child brain. I know I may not make sense or anything, but it is kind of true. You know, child brain, adult brain, whatever. Um, so, like I said, I did used to get scared of the episodes, like, so hard as a kid. It doesn't bother me now, like, right now, like, so like that, but as a kid, it did. I just remember the bit when Angelina and Henry were like, scared because they heard this, like, meow sound. And, and then they sort of went through the cave, and then they were, like, saying like sorry to each other and saying their last goodbye or something like that, even though it's not really their last goodbye. They was just kind of like for nothing because the sound that they heard is just an old friend of their grandpa. Well, granddad, I normally used. Um, and I remember that bit when that guy appeared. That always gave me the right jump. Like, he gave me a fright. I always get scared of that, like really as a kid. But don't blame me, really, because I was only a kid at the time. But it doesn't bother me anymore. But I do remember the shadow, with the hand reaching out. And I don't like that bit that much as a kid, either. Yeah, totally. And I also remember this other bit from the very end of that episode when Angelina and Henry and their granddad in the house when they were reading this sort of like a scrapbook, and then this photo, and their granddad saw this sort of like a shadow of something on the photo with Angelina holding a map, and that shadow did give me a goosebump as well as a kid. Don't worry, it doesn't bother me no more, but it does sometimes remind me of how I used to get scared of it as a kid. But it's pretty normal to, when every time you watch something that you used to get scared of and you try to grow out of it, and now it's quite normal to be honest, because it can happen to anyone. Like, like my sister used to get scared of that thingy lion from the Teletubbies, but it doesn't bother her no more. But sometimes me and my dad sometimes can tease her about her being scared of the lion from time to time. But not in a bad way, of course, but it's only just like a little giggle and that. But Sean knows means well and that. Yeah. So all I'm saying is that I just remember being scared of the Legend of the Big Paw episode. So I kind of remember. Do you want to know how I actually first saw Angelina Ballerina? Well, I actually first saw Angelina Ballerina from this DVD called Children's Magical Favorites. Yeah, something like that. And I remember this episode of Angelina on that DVD was about William the Conjurer, something like that. I can't get that word right, but all I know, I just remember that episode where William and Henry thought that Angelina is gone after they were trying to do the practice about make Angelina disappeared, and they think Angelina actually disappeared, but clearly she didn't. If some of you guys remember that episode, you probably know what I mean. And if you haven't seen that episode, maybe it's best you skip that part if you don't mind me. So, all I'm saying that I just remember that episode, and I just remember how it plays and that. And I kind of like the bit when at the end when you know when William actually see Angelina right in front of him, and if I had to be pretty honest with you guys, I think William's just you know being a bit silly in that episode, thinking Angelina is gone forever, but not really. Oh boy, maybe it's just from William's head. So that's how I remember of how I started watching Angelina Ballerina. I kind of remember this other DVD. It's still the same thing, but I think it's something to do about sunrise, something like that. I actually can remember this one episode about when Angelina has to work with the school bully called Sammy, which they have this sort of like rivalry sort of friendship and they have to work together on the ship and they kept like arguing and arguing and arguing until the very end. They realized their mistakes. They apologized to each other and win the competition together. And it's actually a good thing to do. No matter who you hate, you should always make a best team. Like like Sunset Shimmer and Sideswipe on the Friendship Games movie. Something like that, yeah. So, yeah, I just remember that episode of Angelina Ballerina. And how I first started seeing the new series of Angelina Ballerina, the next steps, I think I remember seeing it on the Milkshake channel, but I did mention already that I have a DVD of it. So that's how I saw the new series of Angelina Ballerina. So it's kind of hard to believe that I actually grew up with both versions of Angelina Ballerina. But if I have to be pretty honest, I think the original one is definitely the one that I mostly grew up with. But I would still believe that I grew up with both, because like I said, it's hard to choose or think. So that's all I'm saying. So, and every time I'm watching Angelina Ballerina, it sometimes kind of reminds me with Hello Kitty. If you don't know what I mean, it's okay. But if you know what I mean, then that's okay too. Oh boy. So these are the things that I like to talk about Angelina Ballerina. Trying to think something else here. Oh, like I said about Angelina and Alice, I kind of like the friendship actually from the original series and the new one, but mainly in the original one, because I remember this episode from the gym thingy episode, when Alice likes to join in the sort of like Olympics thingy, and Angelina decides to help her to win. And as we all know, Priscilla and Penelope, and they brought up their cousin called Fenella. So I just remember Fenella from that episode, and she's quite a bit competitive with Alice and that. But for my honest opinion, I don't think Fenella is that snobbish as with as we all know, Priscilla and Penelope. Well, all I'm trying to say is that I think Fenella is quite alright, but she's not as bratty as the other two. Well, that's all I'm saying. So, think of something else. I just remember from the very end of the episode when Angelina and Alice thought they're gonna say goodbye to each other, like not seeing each other anymore for like forever. But every time I watch that bit, it's nearly gave me a bit of, well, let's just say tears. Like, it's nearly breaks my heart. Like, imagine losing a best friend. I mean, like a friend that you know from your childhood, something like that. Like you only know them for years, and you think you're gonna miss them forever, something like that. But luckily, um, Alice didn't leave. She came back, and Angelina was happy to see her again. And I'm kind of glad that they both reunited, like again in that episode. So that's just, well, can I just be honest? I think I kind of like that episode, to be honest. If some of you have seen my video with all my favorite episodes of Angelina Ballerina, so yeah, I'm pretty sure some of you guys already have. But if some who hasn't seen it, that's okay. You can always be free to watch it by looking it up on my channel if you need to. I mean, okay, and I remember this other episode that I like from the original series about Anya. If you some of you guys have seen the episode, then you know what I'm gonna talk about here. So if you haven't seen it, skip again. So on this kind of episode, when Anya was first introduced, I actually kind of felt sorry for her because on her first day she got bullied by, as we all know, Priscilla and Penelope. I don't really like these girls that much, to be fair, They're just so mean, like judging a new student that quick. Like for no reason. Just because you don't know those people, it doesn't mean you have to criticize them. It's wrong. Eesh. Okay, but at least Angelina did kind of side with Anya because she knows that Anya is not a thief, like deep down. But luckily though, because some of us already know that it was Priscilla and Penelope the whole time who actually knew about it, about all the strawberries and all kinds were not in the bushes and that, thanks to their, bratty mum. So, yeah, that's my personal opinion again. And, well, all I'm going to say that I still find Anya is a good character. Yeah. I mean, she doesn't deserve any negativity for those, those bully twins. Huh. Tell me about it, guys. And if you guys remember Miss Lily from the original series, I do kind of like her from time to time. It depends on the episodes. And I also remember this episode about Angelina and Lily and that. And when Angelina and the others thought that Lily is leaving for good, but even though it was quite a bit of a mistake. So at least Lily explains to the children about it that there's a bit like a misunderstood, so something like that, yeah. And I also remember this one episode about Angelina and her grandma. I would say, okay, well, to be honest, every time when Angelina tried to remind her nan to help her, with the dress thingy, I think her gran is not really paying much attention because she was a bit too busy, something to do with like a family meeting with some friends of hers or something. I don't know. But if I was Angelina, I'll just wait like the whole thing is finished and then ask for grandma to fix the dress, something like that. But I actually feel sorry for Angelina in that episode, even though she did kind of like keep begging and begging. But I can't possibly blame her. But if you remember the scene when Angelina saw the cake from the outside, which is actually her granddad accidentally left in the outside, and the outside was like raining, and when Angelina brought it back in, her grandma blamed it on her. But then she realized it was actually her, Angelina's granddad's fault because he made a mistake, and then grandma realized how wrong she was and that until at the very end of the episode where she like feeling sorry, like saying her sorry to Angelina and like that she feels so guilty for not paying much of attention. That kind of reminds me with from the Malponia episode from season 7, of Flurry up, something like that. I'm pretty sure guys have seen an episode at some point before when Malponia was on the TV at the time back in 2017 and all that. I just remember that episode from Malponia. But it's quite a bit difference between that episode from Malponia and the episode that I just mentioned from Angelina Ballerina. So, yeah. So, these are the things that I have mentioned about Angelina Ballerina. And to tell the fact that Angelina Ballerina has been on screen since I would say somewhere in the early 2000s, I would say. But she's actually originally from a book actually before, the series, because if I remember correctly, the series is actually based on a book. I don't know how exactly, but that's just how I remembered. So, these are the things I remember. And so, trying to think something else here. Aha! I just remember one more thing, and I promise you guys this will be the last one. Okay, so I just remembered this other DVD I also remembered, and it's called Angelina Ballerina, The Lucky Penny. Some of you guys might remember that DVD. If not, that's okay. If you remember that from a VHS rather from a DVD, that's totally okay too, but I just remember from a DVD. So I remember this DVD of The Lucky Penny with the episode The Lucky Penny, the gymnastics championships, Anya, there's so many other episodes that I remember. The Legend of Big Paw, I think that's it actually. Yeah, I think I'm right. Yeah, that's how I remembered. So that's how I remembered. So, and I hope you guys enjoy my video. And if you want if you have any ideas of what other cartoon do you suggest I should do next, please let me know in the comments. And if you have any sort of questions about Angelina Ballerina, be free to do so. And if you're new to my channel, be free to subscribe, give a bit of like, and press the notification bell to receive my videos every day. So I'll catch you guys very later, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye everyone. Sparke Girl out.